Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Square Circle Podcast. I am your host, Marie Shadows, and you are witnessing this live. If you're watching this on the VOD, thank you for that too. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast episode or podcast platform, I should say, thank you for that as well. You are viewing this on twitch.tv/Marie_Shadows. As always, for all of my audio listeners, I will try my best to completely tell you detail by detail exactly what the people who are here live, what they're seeing, and this will be out on anchor.fm/Square Circle Podcast, as well as Spotify's podcasts, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcasts from and where you want to listen to. It will be exactly on those platforms distributed by anchor.fm. Now, if you're here on Twitch, thank you for that. That's really helpful that you're here watching me, you're here supporting me. And as always, as a gentle reminder, I am now Twitch affiliate. That means that I can have ads play in the background. And if you do not want your experience interrupted while you're here on twitch.tv/Marie_Shadows, by all means, you can use your Twitch Prime, which is totally free, to not have any ads, or you can gift yourself or the community some gifts, some subs, really. Gift me the subs. And that's another way of not having ads while you're watching. Also, another cool feature is that if you're watching this video live or this video on demand, and for everyone listening to this over on anchor.fm, I now have the names of all of my subscribers scrolling across the video. That's just to acknowledge you guys for helping me out for everything that I've been doing for the past couple of weeks, months. And that's my way of saying thank you to you guys. So your names will scroll across the video for acknowledgement. So if you want your name to scroll across the video, all you have to do is just send me your Twitch Prime, or you can gift yourself or the community some subs so that way you guys don't get any ads. And I will always be telling everybody who's watching, all my viewers who's watching, when ads will come up, just so that you could be prepared and not, miss a good part if you're listening to this podcast episode. All right, so that's like the most housekeeping notes there is. We're gonna dive right into New Japan Pro Wrestling Dontaku, which wrapped up earlier today. Today is Sunday. It is a very beautiful day, but I'm here letting you know all about New Japan Pro Wrestling. So let's just dump right into it. We're not going to dump right into it. This is the thing of being live. We're going to go right into it, talking about the matches, and I'm going to break down the stories, and we got some very interesting developments happening during Dontaku. First and foremost, this month is the birthday month of Bullet Club. So, we got to say happy birthday to the Bullet Club, even though we've been having so much drama with Bullet Club, GOD, and everyone else in the world. So, but to be nice and to be fair, we're going to wish them a happy birthday. They turn 9 years old as a faction. And if anything, this pay-per-view kind of brought everything back to the center of attention. I'm going to still try to be unbiased while I break down everything and be analytical and stuff. So, bear with me. There's just really some interesting developments here, no matter what. So let's talk about, we're going to go in order. And then as we get to certain matches, I'll pull up certain graphics to go along with it to enhance the ability of, why this match was important, this and that, and everything like that. And we'll probably watch a little bit of the video for Dontaku as well. So, yeah. And then right after we're done talking with Dontaku, we will definitely be talking about Best of the Super Juniors. the match card, the lineup has definitely been put out during the Dontaku pay per view. So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into a lot of things here. But first, I do have to say that the first match, the opening match for Dontaku was that trios match. We had Zack Sabre Jr., Taichi, Taka Michinoku taking on Shingo, Bushi, and I totally forgot the guy that they had with them as like X. Um, totally forgot the guy they had with them. But I would like to say that I skipped the first match just because, as much as it will probably was a really good opening, I just really didn't care. I wanted to get to the matches and the stories that people were talking a lot about on Twitter. But I do know that Shingo, Bushi and their mystery partner picked up the victory over Zack Sabre Jr., Taka, and also Taichi. As you know, Shingo is the holder of the King of Pro Wrestling trophy, which basically Okada made, and it's just something for the guys to do. I don't really consider it something grand or spectacular at all. I just think that it really shouldn't be there. Like, it's a whatever, I'd rather these guys win championship titles, and that's why I'm still a little like, they should have never did away with the Intercontinental Championship title, especially when you have House of Torture, like, hogging up all the fucking titles and not doing anything. So Shingo is still our King of Pro Wrestling trophy holder. He took it off of Taichi in a weird stipulation of getting to a score of, what was it, like 30 pinfalls. It was really weird. I will say that New Japan Pro Wrestling does get kind of creative when it comes to their match stipulations and their gimmick matches. Like, they get creative. They really do. Moving over, we have Yo taking on Hiromu, and this match, excuse me. This match could have been a little bit better. It felt like, honestly, for the past month, maybe. This is probably like after Show turned on Yo and after last year's Best of the Super Juniors, that Yo just sort of feels like he's in limbo, where like he's not the best performer at the moment. He obviously can, perform, and he obviously can be a very great wrestler. But for some reason, I think he's still in his own head, where there's not enough fire or like passion whenever he's fighting. That's why Hiromu was like super angry with him and really telling him that, like, hey, where is that Yo from like before? Where's that Yo with that drive? Like, Hiromu wants like competition. He wants to bring the best out of Yo, but it just feels like Yo is not technically all there when it comes to fighting and stuff like that. He's been paired with Okada twice in like tag teams, going against the combination of like Hiromu and Naito, as we were leading up to Dontaku. But yeah, this match could have definitely been a little bit better. Hiromu does pick up the victory against his battle with Yo. Yo put out a good effort, but I just want something. I want something a little bit more from Yo other than like, me nicknaming him Hoodie Boy, because it's like he comes out with these awesome hoodies where it's like I want to take the hoodies and wear them. because I like hoodies too, but I need something more from Yo. Like, if we really think about it, in terms of uh, who's better, right? If we had to compare, we had to pick one. If Yo is better or Show is better, I get more enjoyment out of watching Show than I do watching Yo. Show joining up with House of Torture was a really good idea for him. I still say that he is an adorable heel, which, by the way, never really happened in professional wrestling. Heels, you sort of like boo them, or like you love to hate them, even though you know that they're like playing a bad guy. But when it comes to Show, I'm just like, this guy is way too adorable to be a bad guy. Way too adorable. The way that he cheats is too adorable. And, he just fits right into House of Torture now. For Yo needs a change in either character direction or even just get a character. Or even just get a character that, can make people believe. But yeah, like I said, that Yo is a definitely good wrestler. He just needs something. He needs to attach onto something. Um, so yeah. So like I said, Hiromu wins that match against Yo. Um, Hiromu did put down his last trophy from winning Best of the Super Juniors, because we will soon be going into the new Best of the Super Juniors for this year, and obviously these two are in it. Moving down, we're going to talk about Tonga Loa taking on Yujiro, who is part of House of Torture and still part of Bullet Club. Bullet Club is getting messy. Okay? Bullet Club is getting messy. So, this match was really good. This match, I really enjoyed it. Loa coming out in new, fresh gear that made him look like $1,000,000, man. Like, the way that they got his clothes to be like a really nice, sparkling white with gold and blue trims. Oh, don't worry, Vortex. I'll get there when about Bullet Club and how like messy it is. Um because we still have like we have some unanswered questions. So, um Loa got himself some new ring gear, and it looks freaking amazing. It reminded me immediately of him being a Super Saiyan. It reminded me of just having like the Saiyan armor. Um, Let me see if I can find a picture of it, because it just looked good. Really? All right, that is so weird. Wow. Okay. Um, Everyone has like pictures of freaking Tama, but not of Loa's ring gear. Wow. Okay. That that is funny. Wow, that is funny. Okay. I wanted to show you guys how he looked. And apparently no one has a picture of it on Twitter, which is kind of weird. It really is kind of weird. So, anyway, he wears um this amazing gear where it just reminds you of a singing outfit, and I was like, oh, this is interesting, very interesting. Like I said, it makes him look like $1,000,000. Obviously, Yujiro is known as a Tokyo pimp, and he had Peter by his side, and uh Bullet Club and House of Torture is going to do Bullet Club and House of Torture things. They're going to do underhanded tactics where they're going to use each other as distraction and stuff like that. Luckily, Jado was with Tonga, so that's always a good thing to try and level out the playing field. So we had a distraction from Show in Loa versus Yujiro, where, of course, we're always going to have some type of shenanigans that, happen. Show thought that by simple forearms to the back that, it would hurt Loa, but that's not the case. So Loa uses his muscle and his strength to take out Show, but Show is still going to be staying around ringside no matter what. They really tried the numbers game against Loa, but what I really appreciate is the crowd in Fukuoka, that they are so behind, as in like cheering Loa and Tama as like really huge baby faces. And that's what I really, really love. Um, in the end, though, even though Yujiro was taking advantage of Loa during most of the match, Loa did make a comeback. Hey, Bougie, what's up? We hit our goal of having 75 followers. Thank you, Bougie. Thank you. I appreciate you coming in here and following. Oh, and just a regular update. Ads start in 7 minutes, just so you guys know. But yeah. So yes, you can see by my smile that thanks for being here and just gonna be listening to me talk about Dontaku. So even though Yujiro was getting the advantage over Loa came back with his power, his speed, his strength, and basically managed to get Yujiro up into his finisher, which is called Ape Shit. Yep, you're always for the people, man. Always for the people. Loa picks him up, does Ape Shit, and gets the 1, 2, 3. And this is step one in GOD's revenge, to get over on House of Torture and then also Bullet Club too. So I'm happy that Loa got his victory over Yujiro and House of Torture. Just because, eventually House of Torture is gonna get kicked out of Bullet Club. Like, I know they are. They don't need to be there. But yeah. Moving on to the next match, which is a tag team match. God, man. So it's the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions Master Wato and Taguchi taking on Yoshinobu and Doki of Suzuki-gun. And man, I know that Taguchi is such a comedic, I was going to say character. He really is a character. This man came out commando. He came out with his underwear in hand and basically, like, I swear, man, at one point when he gets into the ring, he puts it on as if like it's a helmet. And I'm just like, yo, how does Master Wato deal with this guy? Like, how are you not like chuckling every chance you get or even looking at him and being like, why are we partners? You know? Like, Taguchi put the underwear over his face as if like he's trying to intimidate the other wrestlers. And I'm just like, oh my god, Taguchi, like, man, uh this was a very good match, back and forth wise. Doki is good as well. Master Wato is getting better. Like, um he actually decided to do some offense without like someone like, I guess, beckoning him to do some offense in this match, and he took the initiative, which was a very good thing. Master Wato is slowly becoming his own, and I think that he was becoming his own once he got the championship, the tag team championship with Taguchi. But now we're seeing him, be a smarter wrestler. You know, do some tricks here and there where no one's really gonna be like, oh, Master Wato ain't gonna do that. Like, Master Wato is very sly and crafty now, which is a good thing. Before Master Wato had his own glow up, I was just like, man, like, I don't really get Master Wato. Master Wato just translates to Master Water. It's a gimmick. But according to Chris Charlton, who was on commentary for like the whole entire show with Kevin Kelly, he was saying how Doki doesn't like Master Wato. Hey, J-Rod, I'm not up to juice yet. Slow down. I know. Hold on, I'm not up to juice yet. Slow down for a second. So Chris Charlton was saying how Doki is upset at Master Wato because Master Wato had his excursion, and Doki feels like New Japan always backed Master Wato more than Doki. And I was like, oh, that's a very interesting development. That would explain a lot. Um, so the cool thing that I remember in this match is that Yoshinobu goes and takes, like a swig of his alcohol, and he's about to spit it into Taguchi's face, but Taguchi turns him around, and like, I forgot like how it goes, but he most likely attacks him so that way Yoshinobu can spit the drink out into Doki's face, and then Master Wato comes in with the roll up, pulls down his fucking pants, and basically has his ass sitting on Yoshinobu's face while the referee counts to 3. And obviously, you're not like, it's like having Rikishi do the stink face to you, you're just not gonna kick out. You're just gonna be like, oh, this motherfucker, like, I'm just gonna stay here. But freaking Taguchi and his ass won the match for this tag team championship, and Master Wato and Taguchi remain as IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champions. I also did see on Twitter, it was floating around that Doki finally signed a New Japan contract. And I'm like, he's been working without a contract? Like, I didn't know this. Like, I didn't know he was not working without a contract. But also congratulations to Doki for getting a New Japan contract. And yes, J-Rod, Taguchi is definitely the new Mr. Ass. I'm surprised this time Master Wato didn't tell him to pick up his pants, like he did before. I guess it's because the place that they were in Fukuoka, there was barely any like children. So I guess if they're in like Korakuen or like one of the other ones, Master Wato's gonna be like, bro, pick your pants up. Moving from one tag team. Oh, yeah. I guess we're going to the next tag team match. Yeah, we're going to the next tag team match. I want to somehow do this in order, but all of my notes are like up here rather than like I wrote them down because I just finished like watching the show. So we'll go on to the next triple threat tag team match. So this one is for the IWGP World Heavyweight Tag Team Championships, which it's Jeff Cobb, the Great O'Khan taking on Yoshihashi and Goto and Chase and Fale. So this one actually had a stipulation on it, which was it is a Tongan tornado tag match, which all it means is it's a tornado tag match. The reason why it has Tongan on it because Fale is Tongan. So that's the only reason why. It makes no difference. It's still a tornado tag match where there are no tag-ins. All teams start in the ring and, it's one fall to a finish. So same thing. They just don't have to tag in and out. This match was very interesting. It was very fast-paced because it was a tornado tag match. However, I do have to say that is such a Bullet Club thing to do, especially when you cannot beat the champions, I guess, 2-on-2 in a clean fucking fight. It has to be Bullet Club advantage. Now, granted, today is May 1st, 2022. I believe on May 3rd, it's, the 9th year of Bullet Club. So May plus this New Japan pay-per-view, we're going to call it a pay-per-view, Dontaku basically made Bullet Club at Fukuoka. That is like the birthplace and the origin story of Bullet Club. So May, 9 years ago in Fukuoka at Dontaku made Bullet Club. Now, what does that have to do with this tag team match? Basically, Bullet Club has to get the advantage no matter what. I've said it before many times on my previous podcast episodes that Bullet Club is the most dangerous faction in professional wrestling because they use everything to their advantage. They use the outside environment like no other. And for a fact that if you're fighting a Bullet Club member, you better have eyes in the back of your head. You better have even like eyes everywhere because Bullet Club will have the numbers advantage, even if there's only like 3 of them or 4 of them. Like, these guys are very tactical. These guys are very precision with like the things that they do and how they go about how they go about the way that they Bougie, I love you. I'm sorry. I'm checking Twitter while I'm talking about Bullet Club and putting them over. But you got to be careful with Bullet Club. So the reason for this tornado tag is because even though Fale and Chase can be very tactical and basically run the whole entire tag match without any interference, they do have to live up to the Bullet Club name and the shenanigans that Bullet Club does. So therefore, this is why we have a tornado tag match. Like, it was a great match. I was like surprised. I was like, oh, this is so interesting. My only problem with it is that we have new IWGP Tag Team Champions. It's not that I don't want Fale and Chase to not have championship titles. I remember last year, I basically threw some shade at Chase just because. And I said that Bullet Club don't need trophies. Bullet Club needs championships. And, he liked it, even though that was about him at the time. And now, Chase has a fucking championship title. His first ever New Japan title. It's a tag team title. It still counts. It's his first one. And yeah, I may have some issues with Chase. Everyone has their issues with everyone else. But I will give credit where credit is due for Fale and Chase being smart to add that stipulation to this triple threat tag team match where you had Yoshihashi and Goto, and those two are not slouches by any means in the tag team division. They are one of the best tag teams in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Jeff Cobb and the Great O'Khan, they are a fabulous, fantastic team. Like, I love the fact that they were champion. I love the fact that New Japan took a chance on the United Empire other than having Will Ospreay be champion for not only for the United Empire but also to represent New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I was happy that Jeff Cobb and what do you call it? Jeff Cobb and the Great O'Khan won their tag team champions ships. So here is the picture of Fale and Chase as the new tag team champions. Let's just see how long that they are going to keep them. Let's see what they're going to do with them. Are they going to be fighting champions? Are they going to, cower everywhere? If anything, Fale has that spirit of accepting challengers, but also being smart in like what challengers he accepts. I, I really think that the match could have went either way. The tag team titles could have went back to Yoshihashi and Goto, but if it did, I would have been very bored. I would have been like, why the fuck is it going to go back to them? I was hoping for Jeff Cobb and the Great O'Khan to, retain the titles. But again, because this pay-per-view of New Japan Pro Wrestling, it is May. It is 9 years till the day. I understand why they gave it to Fale and Chase. I really did. Sometimes, New Japan doesn't really listen to what the fans want sometimes when it comes to booking and decisions and stuff like that. But this one, they basically it felt like they listened, even though I didn't want Fale and Chase to win. But we'll see how things play out. We'll see how things play out. I will say that it was a very, like I said, a really, really nice match. All right. Should we go next to Tama versus Evil? This man, we will go. We're gonna celebrate the same way that we celebrated before. What image is this? Oh. We are going to celebrate like we did before for Tama. Okay? Give me 1 second. I want to find the picture. Did anyone else enjoy Dontaku while I find this picture? Oh, I was like, it takes up the whole screen. That's not that's not what I wanted to do. It takes up the whole screen. All right, give me a second. I need to go refill my water in order for me to make it through the rest of this podcast episode. All right. Let's talk about this Tama versus Evil match. Man, I automatically want to jump into Tama's psychology, and like one day we all got to give Tama his flowers for the way that he structures and puts together a match. I know that, like, it's him, it's other people behind the scenes that put together his matches, but I remember I woke up today, automatically checked Twitter, which is not really a good thing to do, just because you're waking up and sometimes people might say some shit or whatever. But I woke up, checked Twitter, and I saw that you know it came true. Tama got his first ever singles win, and he is now our new never openweight champion. Uh, because he took it away from Evil. Evil did not really need it. Whenever Evil is double champion, Evil does not elevate the division. Evil does not you know do story correctly. At least we have it in the hands of someone who is going to elevate, the division. So yeah, let's talk about Tama's uh psychology going into this match. So if you okay, for those of you that have the New Japan World subscription, I can't talk now. For those of you that have the New Japan World subscription, which you guys should get because like today they charged me like $7. It's usually like 8, but they charged me $7. So head over to NJPWworld.com, get yourself a subscription, and enjoy professional wrestling with me. So everywhere that Tama goes, there's different psychology that's implemented in his matches. Whenever he's fighting Evil, each region that they go to is a little bit different. If he's in a region where it's more urban, more like farmer type citizens that don't really like get out to go to like a really big city and stuff like that, you gotta play the fundamentals to the crowd. So you gotta play baby facing heel. You can't like deviate from that. It has to be cut and dry. If he's in like Tokyo, there's a little bit more wiggle room for what you want to do, what kind of story you want to tell, what kind of ending you want to tell. Because in like Tokyo and Kyoto, like the main areas where it's more like city life and stuff like that, they understand wrestling a little bit more, but they're not going to understand it like how an American understands it. Where in America we do whatever the fuck we want sometimes, and you're like, hey, I thought you were a babyface. Why are you now being a heel? Like, you're supposed to sell like you're a babyface and continue the story that you're a babyface when you're fighting a heel. But again, Americans tend to, take creative into their own hands, and sometimes it just doesn't go over well. So going back to using like Tokyo and Kyoto as an example, Tama's psychology when he plans his matches, and depending on who he's fighting, there can be some wiggle room. This one here in Fukuoka, he is so over as a baby face that it just makes me smile when the cheers, you can hear the cheers, you can hear the claps, you can hear them make noise. And Kevin Kelly is completely right when he says that the easiest way to be a baby face, or the easiest way to like get on the good side of the fans, is by beating up Evil, beating up the House of Torture. And that's exactly what Tama did. Tama went out there, met Evil halfway down that ramp, and then the match continued and stuff like that. You know, they had a really good back and forth. Evil, always loves grabbing the fucking microphone and just wrapping it around Tama's like neck, and like, this time he called him a loser. And I'm here like, I one day just want Evil to curse me out in English. I just want him to curse me out in English because I think that, him speaking English is interesting. It sounds interesting, but that's just like one of my things that I want Evil to talk in English. Also, a little side note, a little side, I guess, tangent, I don't know. I want Evil to come over here to the States and be part of the AEW X New Japan Forbidden Door pay-per-view. If Evil comes to the States, this man is going to be over. This man is going to get cheered. This man is going to, become a star. And you guys might think that I'm crazy because Twitter likes to inform me that I'm crazy, that my ideas are stupid and shit. So I'm just going to say this. I'm going to say some more stuff about this. Everybody on Twitter has a voice, and everyone on Twitter will complain about something, right? They always complain about Evil, and I complain about him too, but I know that Evil has a lot more potential, and it's not being reached because he's constantly in Japan. He's constantly around Dick Togo, which is not helping him, and there's this automatic ceiling on Evil already. So if Evil were to come over to the States and be part of the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, people would definitely be more accepting to him. And I'm talking about the fans that are going to be attending the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. I'm not talking about the ones that chatter all day on Twitter, don't know what the fuck they're talking about. There's a difference between what you see on TV, what you feel on TV, what you interpret it on TV or, your laptop screen versus seeing Evil live. There's a difference. It goes with like any wrestler. The way that we interpret in media when we're watching it, it's a lot different from when you're going to a local event and, you're actually there seeing the wrestler live and you're watching the wrestlers' matches. So, I think that Evil will do fantastic if he were to come over here to the States for a little bit, have his little American tour, and, end up going back. And I bet you that Evil will be a big fucking star over here in the States. I'm still for Evil coming over here. So, back to the match. Tama and Evil have this really undeniable chemistry together in the ring. And it really showed the psychology in Fukuoka, right? So Tama has Evil in the Scorpion Deathlock because Evil likes using that move. So Tama has that submission on Evil, and Tama's like raking it in, like really putting it on Evil. And Dick Togo decides to go and take the hammer used for the bell and rings the bell. And Tama, being the babyface and playing it so fucking perfectly that, Tama is celebrating. Tama's like, yes, he won. He beat Evil. He tapped out Evil. And then all of us are like, what the fuck is happening? What is this? I automatically thought it was a screw job. I was going to be so upset, but luckily that didn't happen. So the referee is explaining to, Tama about this. And, of course, Dick Togo had to get into this, shenanigans everywhere. And, the match continues. And at certain points, Evil still thinks that using the same underhanded tactics, basically like, is going to get Tama. No, Tama knows almost everything these guys do. Like, this is why I say Evil has this ceiling capped on him because he does the same shit. while I'm here, like, yo, Tom already knows your weaknesses. Tom already knows you're gonna go for a low blow. Like, you gotta switch it up. If Tom is willing to switch it up by being in Hantai, you know, I think it's time for Evil to fucking switch it up too and still be evil and part of Hearts of Torture, but just different moves and shit like that. So they had a really unique freaking sequence to end the match. And that sequence is fantastic. If I remember correctly, Tama is trying to get the gun stun on Evil so that way it could be over. But Tama just really can't. Evil is blocking him every chance that he gets. And I remember they have a spot with the referee where Evil pushes the referee. Tama does a leapfrog over the referee and catches him with the gun stun. And then it's 1, 2, 3, and Tama wins the Never Openweight Championship title. And then we have the Good Sisters coming in and fucking up a feel-good moment. And Anderson basically like declares war on Tama and holds up that Never Championship title and challenges him for it. And yeah, fuck the Good Sisters for doing that shit. Let's watch. Give me a second here. I have so many things here. We are going to be watching the ending to Tama versus Evil, the way that it happened. To give some clarification, this is after Dick Togo decides to ring the bell. So yeah, this is after they ring the bell. Let me first check my stuff. All right. Headphones. Where are we? Okay. Okay. So yeah, that is how the sequence went, and I thought that was a pretty cool ending sequence where Tama still caught him with the gun stun. Um so yeah. So Tama is our winner of having to carry around now the never openweight championship title. But I really do appreciate the way that um Tama structures his matches, and the way that he goes about the psychology of it, because it could have just been an easy um you know House of Torture regular match where it wouldn't be that much to go on or anything like that. So Tama wins. He is our winner. He is our new IWGP Never Overweight champion. And then, like I said, the Good Sisters had to come in and fuck everything up. And that tells you the difference um between the Good Sisters mentality and God's mentality. And of course, Bullet Club is supposed to be like, hey, um oh, oops. Bullet Club is supposed to be like, hey, we do these underhanded tactics, so you gotta do it too, and that's how they get the one up on people. So um, that's how it happens. Um, Yeah, I really enjoyed Tama versus Evil. Tama got the belt, rightfully so. Definitely well deserved. Definitely well deserved. This is only, I guess, step 2 now, because step 1 was Loa defeating Yujiro of House of Torture, and now we have Tama defeating Evil, becoming champion, and then Carl Anderson is like, yeah, I'm taking this belt. That is what's happening. All right. I am moving on because I don't have any other notes for that one. But the whole psychology of this one was like really, really good. The Fukuoka crowd loves they love Tama. They really do. Next one, we are definitely going to be talking about El Desperado and Taiji Ishimori. For the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship title. Um, this match felt sort of off, as if like Taiji had El Desperado's number the whole entire time. Usually, when it comes to El Desperado defending his IWGP Championship title, it's really something special. It's something different. And every single match that he has with somebody is always like different. He's faced Taiji many times, and they've always had a really great match, but this one fell off just because of Taiji basically drove El Desperado's like midsection area, like his torso, on top of the barricade, and that changed the whole momentum and advantage of the match. Desperado still gave it his all, but Taiji came in as a fighter willing to go the distance, willing to beat the shit out of Desperado. Like, he came there for a mission to get that championship belt, to fight for it, and that's exactly what you felt, what you saw, especially with Taiji using the ring post to throw El Desperado in there to mess up his shoulder. But yeah, once El Desperado was thrown onto the barricade, that's when things like just changed. And Taiji Ishimori like took advantage of it. You can tell that Desperado was slowing down in his attacks and his thought pattern, but he still was ambitious and persevered through. He even put Taiji in numero dos, which is wrapping the calf around your neck and like cranking on it in a way. But Taiji was just like, I could get out of this. Taiji was countering El Desperado, and yeah, like it felt like, you know, Taiji had Desperado's number. This didn't feel like let's give Taiji the win because it's Bullet Club's birthday. It felt more like, you know, he went in there and he was like, I'm gonna be champion coming out. Like he believed it that he was gonna be champion. And that's what I really appreciate about New Japan Pro Wrestling and the New Japan wrestlers, is that the stories that they tell in the ring for these championship titles, which, you know, you could feel like it's a gladiator type of thing where you know, the challenger goes in and sometimes the challenger isn't lucky because the champion has to be the best. They have to be tip top shape. They have to be the best at what they're doing because they are representing the company. You know, they're the champion. So this, like I said, this just felt like Taiji was like, nah, fuck that. Like Desperado's title reign has come to an end. And it did. It did. Taiji managed to have El Desperado tap. The same way that Okada, I believe, made El Desperado tap when it was Okada versus Despy, just champion versus champion in a way, just to see what, you know, just to see stuff. So this match was good, but you definitely felt like something was off, and you definitely felt like Taiji, you know, went in there and he was gonna win. It was still a fun match to watch. It really was. So our winner for this one and our new champion is Taiji Ishimori. He is our IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. All right. So moving on to the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship, which is Tanahashi versus Ishii. Now, originally it was supposed to be Tanahashi versus Will Ospreay, but Ospreay caught COVID, so they had to scramble and give us this. So, the interesting thing before we jump into the match. The most interesting thing before we jump into the match is that Tanahashi came out with his ring gear, but his ring gear had boas on it, and it was black boas. If you know anything about Tanahashi, if you know the way that I speak about him, Tanahashi is the light and the hope in this whole entire pandemic. He's the light and the hope in all of our darkest of times, and we look to him as like, you know, the guiding light. That is what we look towards Tanahashi as, the guiding light. And I was just a little perplexed that he came out in all black. Ishii did not have any type of ring gear change. but it's very uncharacteristic of Tanahashi to come out in all black. Now, during the press conference, if you were here yesterday with us, Ishii basically said that he's going to open up Tanahashi's eyes wide because it seems like Tanahashi has been looking through his eyes through rose tinted glasses, which basically means that, even though like Tanahashi is not really in tune with reality, that he has to, sort of, he empathizes with a lot of people, to say that. So it's a little perplexing that Tanahashi would come out in like black feathers. And I'm here like, oh, are we gonna get a Tanahashi heel turn? Like, are we really gonna get that? Like, I really want that. And Tama has to go save him. Like, I want something like that. I want story. But regardless, Tanahashi versus Ishii was a very good IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship match. It felt like it could go either way. I didn't mind if Ishii became champion. It'll be interesting. It'll be nice. But getting down to who won, who lost, Tanahashi is our new IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion. And this match really tested Tanahashi. Ishii tests a lot of people. Like, when Ishii gets unleashed to, do Ishii things, he brings out a different side of you during the matches. Tana like dug deep down for like some of the comeback stuff that he did, but you knew that like Tana was like fucking tired. You knew Ishii was tired, but Ishii wasn't giving up. They both had that fighting spirit, but in the end, like Tanahashi came out on top as our champion. And then more Bullet Club tactics, right? More Bullet Club stuff. Chase Owens comes out. Chase wanted a championship title against Tana, last year, but he never got his chance. But that doesn't matter. He's happy being tag team champion right now. However, out of nowhere, we get a new member to Bullet Club. We get a new member to Bullet Club, man. Like, where is it? We get Juice Robinson to Bullet Club. This is a big deal, even if people do not think it is a big deal. It is a big deal because, you're going to have to admit it to yourself. I'm going to admit it right here on the Square Circle podcast that he worked everybody. He had that interview where he said that his contract is coming up, it's expiring, like he's not going to renew, he's going to go off and do something else. Everyone, said, take care, Juice, blah, 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 like gave him, the blessing and stuff. And then all of a sudden, on May 1st, in Dontaku, in Fukuoka, out comes Juice Robinson with a mask on, has a jacket on, attacks Tanahashi, holds up that IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship title, and basically like says this is going to be his next. I personally want David Finlay to join Bullet Club. I'm still waiting for that, just because David needs something new in his career, the same way that Juice needed something new in his career. Like, they basically had a ceiling, given to them, and Juice is breaking his by going over with Bullet Club, and basically like, it's it's very interesting. It's an interesting development. It's an interesting grab, and I bet you that this was Chase recruiting Juice. I do not see Jay recruiting Juice at all. If anything, I could see Jay recruiting David Finley just because they had their history and their win loss record to each other. But I will guarantee that Chase was the one that was like, hey, let's bring in Juice. But yeah, this is going to be a very interesting development for having Juice Robinson in Bullet Club. Let's see if we can find his backstage comments, which most likely we probably can. Um, okay, that's that. Um, we'll watch some more backstage comments too. By the way, ads are going to be starting in 3 minutes. If you do not want your experience to be interrupted, by all means, send me over that Twitch Prime and or gift yourself and or the community some subs in order to continue your experience without any interruptions. Ad starts in 2 minutes now. All right. Let me take this out. All right, so I'm going to skip ahead. All right.
If there's any question as to why I just did what I did to Tanahashi, well, you're all fucking stupid. How long did you think that I was gonna play grab ass with Taguchi and friends, huh? How long did you think I was gonna sit on the apron and wait for David Finley to tag me, huh? No, this is my shit. This is my shit. And if you're surprised right now, oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. Hey, come over here. Somebody come over here. Come here. Get over here. Somebody get over here. Come on. Come on. Come over here. Come here. It's okay. It's okay. Come here. Come here. Here. I want you to give this to fucking Tanahashi, and you tell him that Juice Robinson is coming to fucking take it whenever he wants. Whenever he wants.
Clawing over one another.
Wow. Okay. I was not expecting Juice to automatically blow up like that. But then again, it does sort of hold right that he does, and he's not wrong in anything that he said in his backstage comments. I was getting a little tired too of the whole, when is Juice and David really going to either turn heel, or, when they're going to do this, when they're going to do that, because it's just really sad that I don't know, they got lost in the shuffle. They're a really good tag team. They have uh, a lot to offer, but I just don't get it. So I'm not really upset that Juice is there in Bullet Club. I think this is a very good opportunity for him to explore and to be with people who, are on top of their game. I'm just, like I said, I'm still waiting for David Finlay to you know, go to Bullet Club and see what happens. Um we better get like some backstage comments from David Finlay to be like, bro, what the fuck? Like, seriously? Like, they hugged at, the end of what do you call it? At the end of why is the name escaping me? Um at the last New Japan show. Damn, the name fucking escapes me. All right. We are going to be talking about the main event of New Japan Pro Wrestling Dontaku, which was Okada versus Naito. And I tweeted out that, this match was not made for us. This match was made for the fans of Japan, the fans of Fukuoka. And by the way, at the PayPay Dome, they sold 8,000 plus tickets. So, it was headlined by Okada versus Naito. So, that number goes to them. This main event was really good. It was really good. Okada and Naito always has this specialness about them, this unique chemistry about them when it comes to fighting, when it comes to professional wrestling. Like, they are really good at what they do. So, this match is no different. Okada versus Naito, for any aspiring wrestler out there, like, just watch this match. Any type of combination of like anything that Okada does, anything that Naito does, like there's little tiny things inside their matches that are really nice. Sometimes, Naito would think a couple steps ahead of Okada and like get him into his own web. Naito did not do his combination cabron, which is basically like throwing the guy into corner turnbuckle, sweeping the leg over, jumping over, and doing a double drop kick to the chest of the guy. He didn't do that in this match. If he did, I probably missed it, but most likely he didn't, because I would have heard Kevin Kelly say so. The other thing too is that Okada is a tricky fucking wrestler, man. For as long as I've watched Okada, he only gets better with time. And depending on who he's wrestling, he has a game plan, and then sometimes that game plan tends to level up while he has these matches with these amazing wrestlers, these amazing athletes. And Naito gave it his all. Like, you felt the fucking brotherhood in this match, and you knew that this match was important to Naito because Naito wants to become champion one more time. He's hitting close to being 40. That's the time where he says that, he's going to retire because of his knees. He doesn't know how long he has for his bum knees, which is understandable because, Naito really has not taken time to really like get surgery if he needs to get surgery. So he's on borrowed time with his knees, which is kind of like scary to sort of think about it, just because it's like, wow, you're still wrestling at such a really high level that you don't know when your knees are going to give out, and the last thing you want is to like blow out your knees during a match and then they have to like stretch you out because you can't walk. Wrestlers are really amazing people, amazing athletes, and I really feel for them, and I understand what they go through and stuff like that. And my whole thing is that I need Naito to really, 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 um, you know, get better, and hopefully, you know, maybe get the victory one day and have that title over his shoulder. Like, I don't know what they're gonna be doing, but this match was really nice. I will also like to say that I have been trained so well to when I watch Okada matches that the moment Okada grabs your wrist, that's it. In a way, like once he has wrist control, that is it, man. Like, you better have a plan, so that way he could get you could get out of wrist control. But the moment he has wrist control, you know that it's about to be over. Naito put up one hell of a fight. Okada put up one hell of a fight. These guys are two special athletes in New Japan that always give it their all, always one up each other, and always knows how to play the game of chess. I'm not sure who's better at playing the game of chess. Sometimes Okada will be maybe 4 steps ahead of Naito, but then like Naito will be like maybe that 5 steps ahead. Sometimes when it comes to Naito versus Okada, it can be slow. It can be like a really boring build up. They've had like boring stuff in the past, I will say that. But this one was like better, very good pace. But Okada was just a little bit more better than Naito on Dontaku. It paid off. It really paid off. Like you saw that Naito had, you know, these watery eyes after the match, sort of like smirking and smiling at Okada because he had fun even though he didn't win. The crowd was into it, and then Okada saying thank you in Spanish to Naito, and I immediately again tweeted out that you can feel the brotherhood between the two, and that's what professional wrestling is after you have a long series of matches with like your best rival. So like Okada makes wonderful memories and like magic with Kenny. Those matches are really good. His matches with Naito are really good. And then he has like the one-off matches like Okada versus Tama. That shit was fucking fantastic. Okada has faced so many guys and has evolved over time that there's a reason why they're keeping the championship title on Okada. Okada just understands how to carry a wrestling company and they trust him, so that's part of it too. So yeah. Um Okada went for like the I'm talking about the finish now. Okada went to do this like I forgot how they called it on commentary, but he flipped over Naito and sort of did like a it's not really a sidewalk slam, but slammed Naito's back on um the canvas, sort of like just like throwing him down, and then picked him up and did the Rainmaker. And then that was it. And Okada is still our IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. And like I said, Okada thanked Naito in Spanish. So I got a little like, oh my god, it's so cool. A little like, oh, starstruck from it. Let's watch the whole entire beatdown, because even though Okada said what he had to say to the fans and letting people know that, thank you for following the COVID rules and that Japan is going to be sort of like opening back up again in a way, that he just thanked everybody. And then, Bullet Club came out. And I'm going to say that, when Jay White's music hits in New Japan Pro Wrestling, it is completely different from anything else. it's a different feel. It's a different like mindset when you hear his music drop when it comes to New Japan Pro Wrestling. If it's here in the States, excuse me, if it's here in the States, it doesn't really have that same effect, you know. And I think that attributes to Jay White, you know, doing amazing things in New Japan Pro Wrestling and staking his flag, you know, the King Switch flag in New Japan Pro Wrestling as one of the best and definitely wrestling's number one assets. Before I do that, I am going to take a mini little break, and then we are going to watch that backstage comments and everything, just in case if you didn't see it, and then we're going to be watching some more backstage comments and stuff. But I will see you guys in a little bit. An ad about pooping. Swear.
One another to get their hands on that man, to get the opportunity to wrestle the Rainmaker. But I can guarantee it's going to be what? No, that is it technical errors or what?
It feels different.
Oh my God!
It really does. It feels different. It feels so different.
Strings from 8,000 miles away. Or is he? No, there he is. Just see it. Just see it. Beat it. That's where you walk up, baby. The catalyst of professional wrestling. King Switch.
Happy God Day, Gary. I was about to say Switchblade. Happy God Day.
The Switchblade Jay White has returned to New Japan Pro Wrestling and is coming down to the ring to confront the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, Kazuchika Okada. We haven't seen him in Japan for a year, almost to the day. And now he's decided it's time.
Yeah, I know, right? Look who finally came back to Japan. Okay, so I just need to pause there because like when I saw this on my TV, I was just like, this is so funny. Okada already knows about Jay White. If anything, Jay White was the first person to like start the betrayal on Okada, and he told Okada many times, straight to his face, that I'm going to betray you. You know, I'm going to fight you for that IWGP championship. Wow. So long ago. And that's exactly what he did the first time around when he started his road to like betraying people and stuff like that. The first person he ever betrayed was definitely Okada. And that was his way of getting out of chaos because, you know, Jay White was part of chaos and then, you know, got moved into Bullet Club along with Gato as a package deal. So, you know, Okada already knows what's going on. He doesn't need to have Jay White speak or anything and stuff like that. Gary says, shaking my head, I really wish I could be happy he's back, but he's a turncoat. Man, I just know that when I watch this and as we watch it together, I was gonna tweet out saying that I can't get Jay White out of my head. Jay White is so good at what he does that it's one of those things of like, yo, man, I don't know. I'm so torn. Like, I would always be loyal to Tama, but the way that Jay White has when it comes to like, talking about his accolades, and it's like, yeah, I know. I agree that he did all this shit. He believes his own shit, and that's like very powerful. If you believe your own hype and your own words and everything like that, and when you tell the world again and again, like it just, you fall into line, sort of. He shows you everything. But the way that he fucking betrayed Tama, that shit is still cold blooded. But he's so good at what he does, and I'm like, fuck, man. Like, there's still a part of me that's like, inside is still like Jay White. Other part is, for Tama and Loa, because these three in professional wrestling are telling the best stories in wrestling. You can't tell me different. Do not try to come in here and be like, oh, well, what about Hangman? Fuck Hangman. Hangman ain't telling stories. What about Punk? Fuck Punk. He ain't telling stories. He's rehashing a lot of shit. Who else can I say? If you come in here and tell me that John Moxley is telling stories, John is not fucking telling stories at all. Jay White, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa are the ones that are telling the best stories right now in professional wrestling.
Oh yeah, I want to come on. Show me that. Show me that. I want to see it. I want to see it.
Oh, come on! Gator with the cheap shot from behind. Okada wanting to cut to the chase.
Come on, Okada! This isn't your area anymore!
And now Okada firing back on Jay White. Wait a minute. Gator again. Down goes Gator. Watch out. Watch out. Blade Runner. Blade Runner. Blade Runner Okada.
All right. I got to pause it there because we got to talk about that. Man, you see how like giddy I fucking get with this? Because I just know that it's great storytelling. It's fantastic storytelling. And this is what gets me excited. This is what gets me, having me still want to do this, talk to you guys here, have my Twitch channel, have my podcast channel, and just tell you guys how amazing professional wrestling is when done right. When done right. So, let's break this down, shall we? Okada already knows that Jay White is going to attack him no matter what. That's why he, took the microphone away from him, and he already knows. Gato is the first person to throw the first shot at Okada. Now, I don't think that's how it happened in the first time that these guys like met all in the ring and shit like that. I know that Gato, the first time around, Gato was the catalyst for Jay White betraying Okada in Chaos. But this one just feels totally different. Gato attacks first. And then Jay White tries to attack as well, and they think they have the numbers game because it's 2-on-1. But Okada's champion. Okada already knows this, and I love the fact that Okada turns the tables on Jay White and Gato by at least creating some distance between himself and the other guys. And the thing that takes him out is the Blade Runner, because you're not technically supposed to destroy Jay White's finisher in a sense. So I love the fact that in New Japan for Okada, they have like that fighting champion that already knows the tactics and already is already ready for them. Even if it's 2 against 1, doesn't matter. Okada is still gonna be there and defend the honor of New Japan Pro Wrestling, and also just try to get in some offense, even if, Jay White and Gato is a little too much. Which is very smart wrestling, smart storytelling. It's not like WWE where the champion's gonna get, demolished. If like something like this were to happen, unless like you're Roman Reigns, like no one's really gonna demolish Roman Reigns in a way. So you get the idea. But yeah, this stuff makes me happy and makes me giddy. I just love it. Gary says that he hopes that Okada wins. Most likely Okada is going to win. I don't see New Japan giving Jay White the belt anytime soon. If anything, I'd rather this be like a long chase. And when we get to Wrestle Kingdom, it will be a lot more satisfying to have, maybe the belt switch hands to Jay White. And then that's when Tama could go chase after Jay White and get the belt for himself. Because that once Jay White gets the championship belt, Tama's going to go after it. Even though I want Tama against Okada again, but we know that Tama's going to go after Jay White once Jay White becomes champion. I don't see any other contenders other than like Naito, but I'm not sure if they're going to do like Naito versus Okada right away.
It's okay, man. Come on. Come on. Oh, yeah. Hold that.
Did you forget? Let me remind you. Let me remind all of you exactly who I am. I am Switchblade Jay White, the #1 asset in all of pro wrestling, the last rock and roller. I am the man that single-handedly sold out Madison Square Garden. I'm King Switch, baby. I'm the first ever Grand Slam champion, making me the real belt collector. I am the leader of Bullet Club. I am the catalyst of professional wrestling. I am the next IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. And Okada, once again you will breathe with the Switchblade because it's still my era.
All right, I'm going to pause it there. Yeah, as Jay White was, refreshing everyone's mind in Japan about who he is and all the accolades he went through. And by the way, he's going to be adding to his list when he single-handedly sold out. I'm sorry, I fucked it up. He's going to be adding to his list where he says that he single-handedly sold out the United Center for the New Japan X AEW Forbidden Door. And most likely it's going to happen. And when that show gets sold out, he's going to say that he single-handedly sold it out, which is totally fine because you want to know why? Everyone out there who's a CM Punk fan, he has been super fucking quiet ever since the announcement was made. Hell, even Daniel Bryan said something about it. But your hero, CM Punk, who's supposed to be the hometown hero of Chicago, hasn't said a fucking word about the pay-per-view. Let that sink in, because you guys need to stop hyping him up, stop being his fan, because he really doesn't give a shit about wrestling. Stop falling for it. If he gave a shit about wrestling, he would have been beaming and talking about it and trying to get a buzz under it because that is his hometown, the United Center, and be proud that he could attribute to selling it out. But Jay White is on a whole nother level, and Jay White knows how to sell out arenas. So I can't wait for Jay White to definitely be like, he sold out the United Center for the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Just want to say that. And I will continue to say that to people who want to listen. Gary says, I thought Jay said he would never want to be IWGP World Champion since the legacy isn't there anymore. Things change. That's what I'm going to say, Gary. Things change. The legacy really isn't there anymore, but he's still part of that debate. But then again, if he did he's not going to be a Cody Rhodes where, Cody is like, I'm not going to challenge for the AEW World Championship title. Like, this is Jay White. Jay White will say things one day, but then when he realizes that he wants his name in there again, he's going to go after it. Jay White just didn't like the idea of having both the titles be unified. And then Ibushi claiming that he's God and shit like that. It's just really stupid. But, Jay's going to go after it. Jay's going to have his name etched in history for this one. I say let's do this at Wrestle Kingdom. Let Jay White and Okada have this chase. Let other people have this chase in here too to make the story a little bit more better. Throw in Tama and stuff like that. But when Jay White reminds everybody about his accolades and stuff, I can't hate the dude. I can't. I haven't forgiven him for the way that he betrayed Tama, but I just can't hate the dude. I really can't. And if I do ever get to work with Jay White in New Japan Pro Wrestling, most likely that whole entire statement of all his accolades would probably be his ringtone. If he ever has to call me, it's going to be all that shit that he says. J Ross says that Jay White might win the G1. He might, or we got Naito win the G1, he might, I don't know. I don't know where we're going with this, based on the ending of Dontaku. And yes, I'm stalling because after Jay White says all that he says, freaking Carl Anderson takes the mic, and Carl Anderson is so fucking cringe. Carl Anderson is so fucking cringe on the mic. And I'm like, how the fuck did you pass promo class? How are you so fucking cringe? I apologize for everyone's ears. Hey, PhD Bound, what is up? Thank you for joining the chat. Yeah, I still can't believe Naito lost as well, too, I thought they were going to give it to Naito for one more time and then, Okada gets it back. But then it wouldn't make sense for Jay White to come out to attack Naito, even though I don't think Jay White cares. But in terms of story of how everything plays out and just going full circle, because this whole shit feels full circle, where Okada has the belt again and Jay White wants the belt and then he goes and attacks Okada. This is fucking full circle shit, man. I'm happy, okay? I'm happy. I'm hyped. Yeah, let's go. And again, apologies for your ears, because it's going to get cringe.
Sugoi, Kakoi, Fukuoka. Oh, Hisashiburi desu. Happy birthday, Bullet Club. Happy birthday, Bullet Club. Happy birthday.
See? Super fucking cringe.
Bullet Club. Happy birthday, Bullet Club. Look at the Bullet Club. Look look at us, stronger than ever. New member, Rock Hard Juice Robinson.
I don't understand why he named himself Rock Hard Juice Robinson. The memes, the jokes. He's so rock hard. Let me shut up.
Legendo Geino-san, Sugoi legend. The IWGP Junior Weight Champion, Taiji Ishimori. Huh? The brand new IWGP Tag Team Champions, the Crown Jewel Chase Owens, and the King, Bad Luck Fale. Of course, returning to Shitty Home Pro Wrestling in the Bullet Club, the Big LG Doc Gallows, and the Machine Gun Carl Anderson. But most importantly, from Prince Davido to AJ Styles to Kenny Omega, standing right here is the best wrestler in the world. Standing right here is the man that single-handedly sold out Madison Square Garden. Standing right here is the brand new, soon-to-be next IWGP World Champion. The Switchblade, Jay White. Bullet Club birthday and all the boys in the ring. Only one way to say it. It's just too sweet.
Bullet Club.
The 9-year anniversary of Bullet Club.
All right. They just go to the back and everything. And then we're gonna watch some more stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with my chat that they did not say anything about House of Torture. So Juice is in the Bullet Club because this is his heel turn, his heel run now. He said in his backstage comments that he thinks that he was like, how long do you guys think I was gonna be playing grab ass with Taguchi, and how long was he gonna be on the apron asking for the tag of David Finlay, and that he made it seem as if like he was held back, and he sort of really was held back. So Juice joining up with Bullet Club just seems right. It's a different direction for his character, and I'm here for it. Just because I want to see him do something different. I don't want to see him have his potential like clearly capped off. I said earlier that I always wanted David Finlay to be in Bullet Club, because I just think David Finlay needs like a breath of fresh air, something new when it comes to wrestling and stuff like that. I saw that you put that same comment up, Gary, on Twitter about they really be letting anybody in the damn club. I mean, Scott Norton is now a member of Bullet Club, so yeah, definitely. So going back to the whole thing of Bullet Club did not mention anything of House of Torture. My theory is that now that Evil is one belt less, when House of Torture loses their trios title to either like Tama Loa or Jado, or Tama Loa and it has to be Jado because Tanahashi is our United States champion. Once House of Torture loses that, they're gonna get kicked out. And I can't wait for it because, House of Torture can stand on their own. They don't need Bullet Club. I've been saying this for a while. But the fact is that for some reason, Jay White does not want to acknowledge Evil when Evil was the one that tried to get Jay eliminated from the G1 so long ago. And they had like a good, I guess, a good stint of like being on the same team and having some matches where they were being teammates and stuff like that. But then again, Jay White probably just thinks it's business, so he's not gonna put too much emotional stock into it, even though him yelling at Gato and being like, Gato, did you know that Evil was gonna do that and all that kind of stuff, like that right there is emotional. But yeah, House of Torture was not mentioned, man. Like I said, I can't wait for House of Torture to get kicked out. PhD Brown says, Carl taking Tama talks too much, running his mouth. Yeah, man. Fucking Carl, man. Carl talks so much shit. And he's so cringe. So fucking cringe. By the way, for everyone that is watching, ads start in 2 minutes. You can avoid ads and not get your experience interrupted by using your Twitch Prime, which is totally free, or you can gift yourself and the community some subs, so that way everyone can avoid ads. I'm just letting you guys know because I am the sweetest, best streamer you'll ever meet. But yeah. House of Torture was not mentioned. That's very sus. I just wonder what the fuck they're gonna do. Now we're gonna switch over to watching some more backstage comments, especially Tama's backstage comments, because we gotta support Tama's island, and we gotta do it for the island. That is what we gotta do. We gotta do it for the island. Or should I wait until after the ads? You know what? I said ads and I lose 2 people. I'm gonna snooze the ads for now, so that way we can watch together Tama's backstage comments.
I couldn't even get my hand raised for beating Evil before I was jumped in the back. Is that all you got, Carl? Is that all you got? Once a backstabber, always a backstabber, huh? Boy. But if that's all you got, you're in for a big ass surprise. See, a lot has happened since you've been gone, Carl. I've been beating people's ass, climbing this ladder in New Japan on my own, fighting for every inch gained. And if you think that you can just come into my house, that's right, this is my fucking house. If you think you can come in and take that away from me, oh. I'm gonna fuck you up worse than any of those boys in other companies ever did. Cause those motherfuckers, Carl, ain't on my fucking level. right stuff, Carl. I'm not even worried about that big dumb ogre you got next to you. Cause I wipe my ass with his face any day of the week, but you, Carl, you, I'm gonna come for you, alright? I'm gonna tell you from limb to limb. I'ma fucking own you. You ain't fucking shit.
All right. That was a really good promo. He's totally right though that he's gonna go and fuck up Carl Anderson, and we're all gonna be here for it. Carl's not gonna be taking that fucking championship title from Tama. Like he just won it, and Tama's right that he didn't even get his fucking hand raised. It's like, what? You know? Tama's definitely going to like own Carl. Like I don't see this as like, you know, Carl getting the victory over him. Like, you know, Tama has a lot more class obviously than Carl Anderson. And, you know, the Good Sisters are here. Like, you know, what impact are they going to do? Like, seriously, what impact are they going to do when they haven't really made an impact much of anywhere? They had their WWE run. They did what was needed for WWE. Doc Gallows was part of, you know, the Straight Edge Society. He was also Festus. And then finally, when Carl Anderson came, they meet up and, you know, all this kind of shit. But like, what impact are they truly gonna do in New Japan? Yeah, man, they really done fucked up. Like, yeah, definitely. Why poke the lion? First of all, why even poke like Tama in the first place unless like you want a fucking war, you know? Yeah, T is definitely gonna get Gallows and stuff like that. But yeah, like it makes no fucking sense at all. Plus anyway, I think that, you know, it would be nice to see Tama versus Carl one-on-one. It definitely would be nice. I'm gonna snooze ads again so that way we can watch this one. Because I know not everyone has a sub. Well, we'll watch this one.
Bullet Club, that's one down. It's still a very long list to achieve vengeance. But one down. Pimp Boy out. Who's next, Bullet Club? Don't care. Don't care who it is. Like today, for Golden Week, I came prepared. Got new gear, looking fly as fuck. And I performed fly as fuck too. And it's gonna keep continuing that way until all of BC has paid the price. Understand that? I will keep doing what I am doing until all of you have paid the price. Until that is done, I ain't looking, seeking anything else. Blinders on, zeroed in, Bullet Club. Who's next?
Okay. Totally right in his backstage comments about like, you know, who's next and stuff like that. Yeah, I totally agree. that show is probably gonna get it next, dude. I know, yeah. Um yeah, show is gonna get it next. Yeah, he definitely was flying, yeah. Loa was definitely channeling his inner Vegeta. That's like the first thing I thought of. I was like, yo, he's wearing a Super Saiyan type of like gear. And like, yo, it looks so great on him. It looks so good. It looked really, really good. Um, but yeah. Um we watched most of the backstage comments, the ones that are really important to story and making me giddy and all that kind of stuff. You know, Dontaku always delivers. Like that's the New Japan Pro Wrestling pay-per-view that always delivers. Um and I enjoyed it from start to finish. I enjoyed the stories. I enjoyed the fact that Tama became our new never openweight champion. I enjoyed the fact that, titles did change hands and I understand why. I still think that, Carl Anderson giving him the mic is fucking cringe. Just leave the mic with Jay White. Um, uh, Juice joining up with Bullet Club is going to be a very interesting development, of super big interesting development that I did not see coming. Like I said, I wanted David Finlay to do so. What else did I miss? I didn't miss anything. I think I'm good. All right, so that basically wraps up the podcast portion of this, and I'll probably stay a little bit later for like Q&A, just random talking and stuff like that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is everything of Wrestling Dontaku for 2022. Like I said, it was a fantastic pay-per-view from start to finish. Wonderful stories, wonderful developments, interesting developments. Bullet Club did feel like a complete unit, just coming back in a way that they decided to take championships that were theirs, beat up people in the back like they always do, and then have Jay White, be front and center and stuff like that. Okada versus Naito for the main event was a fantastic showing of what it means to have like a brotherhood in this business, and have a brotherhood, just in a really good company that appreciates good storytelling and appreciates really good wrestling. And, I'm here to break it down for you every step of the way. The next time that we see New Japan Pro Wrestling would be, I would have to look at the schedule. Best of the Super Juniors. I didn't speak about Best of the Super Juniors. I didn't do that yet, and I'm doing my closing remarks. Oh my God. I just realized our next thing that's happening with New Japan is Best of the Super Juniors. Okay, so for New Japan Pro Wrestling, after Wrestling Dontaku, we don't see New Japan until May 6th, which is a Friday, for their Taka Taichi Mania 2.5. I have no idea what the hell that is. And on Sunday, May 15th, is the beginning of Best of the Super Juniors. It looks like we are not, well, I mean, during Best of the Super Juniors, we're probably going to be having some matches with like, Bullet Club, GOD, like the rest of them, stuff like that. Yeah, let me quickly talk about Best of the Super Juniors before like completely closing out, because I almost forgot about we're doing Best of the Super Juniors as well. Let me see. Where is it? All right, so here is our lineup for best of the Super Juniors. All right, so who is excited about Best of the Super Juniors in the chat? I gotta get the right image up. They announced Best of the Super Juniors during the Dontaku show. So we're just gonna go over it and we're gonna talk about it very quickly. Because I really don't have much information to go on other than like these are the competitors and stuff like that. So Best of the Super Juniors again starts May 15th, which is a Sunday. Block A has Taguchi, who is one half of the IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions. Yo needs to find his fire, his footing, whatever you want to say, because Yo just has not been delivering as of late. He's a great performer. He's a great wrestler, but he has not been delivering as of late. Clark Connors, one of the 4 pillars of the Young Lions that has graduated the LA Dojo, and Clark Connors is in Best of the Super Juniors. I am extremely excited about this. I'm happy about this. This is a really good direction that they're going into. Even though, you know, the borders are like opening up and stuff like that, like this is a really good direction. We have Hiromu. We always know that Hiromu is going to be in Best of the Super Juniors. We have Yoshinobu. We always know he's going to be there too. We have Ace Austin and Alex Zane as new members in this Best of the Super Junior, man. It's going to be fantastic. Ace Austin is a very fantastic wrestler. I love watching him. And he is the Impact X Division champion as well. Alex Zane is cool too. I just don't really watch much of his matches, but I know that judging by other people, they really enjoy him. So now everyone who is a fan of Alex Zane, make sure you get yourself a subscription to NJPWWorld.com so you can go and support him there. Francesco Akira, he is new to New Japan Pro Wrestling. He is not new to professional wrestling, and he is part of the United Empire. I believe before coming to New Japan, he was in All Japan, and he was the champion over there in All Japan Pro Wrestling. And of course, we got our Bullet Club members, Taiji Ishimori, who is our new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. And we have Sho from House of Torture. You know, it's Sho, Murder Machine Sho, with his fucking wrench of a weapon. Like, seriously? And then we have Block B, which is Master Wato, the other half of the IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions with Taguchi. Robbie Eagles made it Titan. I am not too sure of like who Titan is. Bushi from LIJ. Desperado. He always has to have him in here. Doki is in here. We have El Lindemann from SEMA and Gleet. We have Wheeler Yuta, who is the Ring of Honor Pure champion and also AEW star. I finally get to really sit down and watch Wheeler Yuta matches on a very high competitive level. Hopefully he can survive Best of the Juniors. And then I will eventually have my own assessment about Wheeler Yuta, because everybody out there loves to overhype him. And then with Wheeler being part of the BCC, it's a little overwhelming because I really want to like dive in and indulge myself to love a Wheeler Yuta match and talk about Wheeler Yuta on here on my podcast and stuff like that. But I can't do that if everyone is overhyping him, because it's like, are you sure he's really good, or is he good because Tony Khan says he's good? Like, there's a difference. Wrestlers make their own superstardom. Promoters are not necessarily supposed to be like, a star is born. Oh my God. Like, he's not supposed to tell you that. You're supposed to figure that out if you like him or not, and that wrestler's supposed to be like, yeah, I'm one of the best. Then we have TJP, part of United Empire. Can't wait to see what he does in Best of the Super Juniors. And then also we have El Phantasmo. And I don't think El Phantasmo is ever going to be part of the heavyweight division, just because they keep putting him here in the junior setting. So this is the lineup for Best of the Super Juniors. So again, for those of you in the chat, let me know how excited you are about Best of the Super Juniors, so that way my voice can rest a little bit. Man, Best of the Super Juniors. Oh yeah, so there is one last thing. Vortex had asked me, what do I mean by Bullet Club being messy? So just to quickly answer that one. Bullet Club being messy in the fact that, they have Carl and Gallows, and, not only are they cringy, but even though at the end we saw that they all like stood tall together and they took out Okada and they came out and celebrated, story-wise, it's just really, really messy. Story-wise, it's more like, do they really need Anderson and Gallows there? What kind of impact is Anderson and Gallows really gonna do in this whole story and whatnot? Like, I understand he's going after, when I say he, I mean Carl. He's going after Tama and stuff like that. I totally get that. But at the same time, it's like, why are you guys back? JY sees everything as a business decision, and he's letting the guys do what they got to do. Take names, kick ass, get championship titles. But the moment that you fail in order to elevate the name of Bullet Club, or even the name of Switchblade Jay White, you are most likely going to get kicked out of the Bullet Club. That is probably how it's going to happen. Where, if you fail at something, you're going to get kicked out. That's why I believe that once House of Torture loses those never Openweight 6-man championship titles, that they're going to get kicked out of Bullet Club. And then, I don't know what they're going to do afterwards. But yeah, they're messy. Their story is a little bit messy. I tried the best that I can to sort of tell you guys exactly like what's happening and stuff like that, but there's still like a lot of questions to try to piece it together to where it makes sense. So yeah, that's how Bullet Club is messy. All right, I am going to end it there, guys. I'm going to end it on Best of the Super Juniors 29, where I just told you the lineup, the roster, and everything. Talking about Wrestling Dontaku is amazing. Thank you guys for stopping by. I was going to be like, I'm going to see you guys in the next one. But I'm just like, yeah, that's a little too, short and stuff like that. I do want to thank you guys for being here, chatting with me, talking about wrestling for a little bit. Shout out to Jay Bougie that followed me not too long ago, and then, tweeted out that I was live on Twitter. And also for all of my videos, if you see your name scrolling across, that means that you are a sub of twitch.tv/Marine_Shadows. Thank you for being a sub. Thank you for being a fan. Thank you for following. Thank you for listening to me and hear me break down professional wrestling like no other. I am always available for other podcast spots to talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling, to put them over, to get you excited the same way that, you know, the best three storytellers in professional wrestling is Jay White, Tonga Loa, and Tama Tonga. The three best. That gets me super excited to want to talk about wrestling. Other than that, you know what to do. Follow me at Marie_Shadows over on Twitter. Follow this Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Marie_Shadows. This podcast episode will be out on anchor.fm/Square Circle Podcast and also YouTube in the upcoming days. Also, make sure to follow me and support my coffee page, www.ko-fi.com/Marie_Shadows. I will try my best to update my coffee page as best as I can. So look out on my Twitter for all of that kind of stuff. And yeah. All right, guys. You have been listening to an episode of the Square Circle Podcast. I am your host, Marie Shadows, and I'll see you guys on the next one.